Hey y'all, we are back. Nerdy Girl Reviews is back. I just wanted to hop on here real quick just because I've been meaning to review Euphoria, and I may go back and revisit the other episodes. I just want to concentrate on the season question mark finale, because it's like, is it really season? I mean, how can we really come back to these characters with spoiler alert, if you haven't seen it, go see it and then come back. But we have lost major players in this cast. So I'm not saying life doesn't go on, but well, actually kind of like 3 we lost because, well, we'll see. I think there's still potential for Coleman Domingo's character, Ollie, maybe to continue, but yeah, we have lost our Nate character, played by Jacob Elordi, and I get it. He's booked and busy. And mind you, I'm doing my whole like influencer headband look, very Cassie like. I did review season 2, and I'll link it somewhere in this description, in the description box or the video. But yeah, what a 180. Now, perhaps, yeah, we could have figured that that's where Cassie was headed, just because I think she banked a lot on her physical appearance. But Nate's character just fell flat for season 3. And then, to be perfectly honest, is just when you rip the soul in the story out of the character, regardless of how abysmal he was, it just felt like it was painful to watch. I mean, poor Nate's character. Now, given he wasn't a good guy, but he lost a finger, he lost a toe. I was like, are they gonna rip off his privates at this point? Like, they had put so many of the characters through so much. And given life is brutal, and when you mess with the wrong people, yeah, you are met with these heinous situations. But to kill him off by a rattlesnake bite, Jesus. And so, and then, now given, okay, a lot of people have said online that although we warmed up and we even learned to sympathize, if not even care for the character Rue, she was destined, unfortunately, to pass. The way they did it, the way they shot it, was really beautiful. I think they gave a good send-off to that character, and also to the actor who had been in the last 2 seasons and also, unfortunately, lost his life to an overdose. And it you know, I mentioned this in my other social media platforms, but it was hard to watch. And even though, again, I can't say I relate 100%, I don't know what that life is. I'm not well versed in that world. I mean, I know we all kind of know somebody, but it was the most painful thing to see her transition. So if you're going through grief, I really don't recommend you watch that episode, but it was a beautiful send-off. And the way that she went through all of these things just to survive this past season, getting involved with Lori again, having to practically be a mule, getting involved in other shady business with that Alamo character who really, he really played that villain hands, boots down. And he's British, too. I just thought it was fascinating because he really had that southern twang down. And how he ropes in this poor girl and then gets him to do basically his dirty work. But somehow, and not even somehow, it was Maddie, gave Rue up. Now, given I don't blame that character, I think she just thought that Rue was going through something, and by accident may have said something. I know a lot of people are upset at these characters too, like Maddie, Lexi. They really weren't supportive. And I will say that there's a lot of truth to that, because there's always that saying, when stuff really gets rough, and the people that stick around and support you, those are your real friends. That's your real tribe. But people who are just there when it's convenient, those are superficial, not real friends. And they were all kind of self-interested, self-involved. I mean, they may have been the same way in the first 2 seasons, but now we really see how they really weren't, they really didn't have Rue's back. And so, unfortunately, because Alamo catches wind of what possibly Rue was doing, she meets her demise. And although she was really looking forward to starting a new life and really devoting herself to religion and getting out of this quote-unquote game, and evil deeds that Alamo was doing in that club, that strip club, and utilizing those poor girls for his benefit, for financial purposes, for whatever. He didn't care. And we also see why, because he had developed a hatred for his own mother. At least that's my understanding of his character and his backstory. But he basically drew her back to the same exact addiction and addictive quality that she had. And it only took a small percentage. It felt very much like Prince. I feel like, I'm not saying that, I'm not entirely sure how Prince passed, but I think it was related to that, something along those lines. And it only takes a really small pinch where people can unfortunately lose their lives like that. So it was really heartbreaking. She passes in Ollie's home, and the way he also has to process that information. I will say, though, that how he seeks a vengeance for her was wild. It really felt very Quentin Tarantino, but heartfelt at the same time. Coleman Domingo, I'm telling you, you are a gem to the acting community, and it really pulls at your heart how he defended not only Rue's, and it's almost like he needed for Rue to have a significance because she meant so much to him. And he saw a lot of his own demons in her. But he also defended Maddie, because Alamo, being the trickster he is, he was going to get out of there one way or the other, either whether he cheated or not. And then his henchman, I think his name is Bishop. I loved his character too, how stoic he is throughout most of the season. And I just feel like some switch went off in his head where hey, I think it was kind of like doggy dog. It's like, I'm going to save my own rear. I don't necessarily think it was because he was trying to save Maddie, but he pulled out the ammunition out of that firearm because I think he knew Alamo was going to play some dirty trick, because he had done it for everybody. So he did it to Rue, he was going to do it to Ollie, and he was probably going to do it to him and any one of them. Everybody in that club, with the exception of himself, was dispensable. So when he pulled out the ammunition and he found himself like, oh, oops, you got outwitted. His whole purpose in life since he was a child, the character was like, never get outsmarted by a bitch. You got outsmarted. And then Ollie finds peace and solace and probably refuge in the same place where Rue did. It was a beautiful episode, and I really recommend it. If you've watched it, let me know in the comment section down below. I'm also very excited that the series, AMC series Lestat the Vampire, is coming back. And guess what, y'all? I got an invite to the Beacon Theater experience. So hopefully if I can get a seat tomorrow, I'll report back. All right, y'all. I hope you watched Euphoria. I hope you share the same sentiment. And if not, leave me a comment down below. Till next time, y'all. XOXO.